Welcome to this webinar from ReliabilityX, the DNA of Success. The title of this presentation is With Asset Management, the Way Utilities Should Do Business. And even if you're not a utility, no matter what industry you're in, I encourage you to stick around all the way until the survey at the very end. I'm Paul Crocker, and you can read all these bullets here. I just want to let you know that I'm very passionate about water and utilities. I spent about 30 years in utilities between a couple of utilities, and I really love asset management and what it brings to the table. So I encourage you to stay tuned for this whole presentation. Even if you're not in the water treatment industry, there's a lot of stuff in here that's applicable to every industry, be it making tools or making food products or pharmaceuticals. All the principles and practices in this are applicable to everything. Even though I'm addressing utilities here, you can just substitute utilities for whatever business it is that you do. And I'm thankful for you to tune in today and see this presentation. Let's talk about the status quo. We've always done things this way. Why do we need to change now? One of the big ones for me is low to no training for the maintenance staff, which is strange because operators and laboratory staff are often well trained, and their ongoing training is usually around 10 hours or greater a year, which is very helpful for their licensing. Since our maintainers don't have licensing in general, they're often overlooked, and this is a mistake. When operators aren't trained and there's no strategy for maintenance, that leads to situations where operations routines are disrupted by unplanned reactive maintenance. In those unplanned reactive maintenance situations, they foster a captain unreliability mentality, where maintenance are the heroes when they come to save the day, bringing an asset back up that had failed unexpectedly. And that really shouldn't be the case. With all that goes poor equipment lifespan, equipment not being cleaned, overheating, low system reliability and efficiency, increased risk of non-compliance, strained customer relations when systems fail and boil orders are issued, spare parts are not managed. We have them. Bob knows where they're at. Oh wait, Bob's on vacation. What about Larry? Oh, Larry's out too. What about, well, didn't we get those from that vendor? Oh, I can't remember the vendor's name. Just think, you've had those discussions. And then with all that goes poor or no data to make decisions with. All our decisions end up being emotion-based, and emotion-based decisions aren't good. Deming himself said, without data, you're just another person with an opinion. So with asset management, the rest of this presentation is going to be more in question, 3-bullet answers with me talking about the bullets. And then with that, I'm also going to have some financial perspective, or like what would, if finance ran operations and maintenance, how would they sort of do things? And just as an interesting perspective. Anyway, no more, that's the way we've always done it. Words mean things, so let's look at some definitions. What's an asset? An asset's an item, a thing, or an entity that has potential or actual value to an organization. That could be a person, it could be a practice, it could be a brand, it could be the product that they create. Those are assets. Management, simply the act or manner of practicing or managing, handling, supervision, or control. Asset management, the coordinated activity of an organization to realize value from assets. Asset management is not just a concept. It's a fundamental approach that utilities must adopt to thrive in today's economic environment. By integrating asset management principles into everyday aspects of operations, utilities can optimize performance, minimize risks, enhance efficiency, improve maintenance, improve reliability. It's crucial to recognize that assets and their asset management, is a continuous journey. It doesn't just happen overnight. It requires dedication, commitment, collaboration, communication, and an ongoing overall effort to improve. And usually it's led by the top, or it should be. With the right practices, strategies, and tools in place, utilities can ensure the sustainability and resilience of their infrastructure while delivering reliable services to their communities. Asset management. Here's the agenda. So we'll have questions. Question for this slide is, what critical topics will guide our discussion today? It'll be an understanding of the principles of asset management, and we'll drive parallels from financial management practices. We'll explore the role of leadership in asset management. Well, that'll be more towards the end. And identify actions independent of leadership. Like for that one, that's really like, what do you do to practice asset management when leadership isn't giving you the directive to do that? Why is asset management pivotal in water utility operations? Defining asset management within the utility context. We'll discuss the strategic value of asset management and highlight the benefits of structured asset management approach. Asset management in the context of water utilities is a systematic and coordinated activity that ensures the availability, reliability, and sustainability of your infrastructure. The strategic value it offers is unparalleled. It ensures we're not merely reacting to breakdowns and regulatory pressures, but are actively anticipating, planning, and executing actions that keep our operations a step ahead. With a structured asset management approach, we're able to maximize the lifespan of our assets, minimize downtime, and provide quality water services to our community. Let's look at asset management as a business imperative. How does asset management underpin our utilities' business success? We'll look at alignment with dynamic industry needs, enhancing operational efficiency and sustainability, and cultivating proactive management in a culture of excellence. So let's assess the role of asset management in the business success of our utility. We understand that it's more than just a practice, it's a strategic imperative that has a direct correlation with our ability to meet and exceed the industry's evolving demands. So how does asset management form the backbone of our business success? First, involves continual alignment with dynamic industry needs. The water treatment sector is not static. It's shaped by shifting environmental policies, technological advancements, and changing expectations of our communities. Effective asset management allows us to remain agile and responsive to these changes, ensuring our operations are compliant with current standards, forward-thinking, and prepared for future developments. The enhancement of operational efficiency and sustainability is another critical aspect. Asset management compels us to look critically at how we see our resources, from energy consumption to labor allocation. By optimizing the performance and lifespan of our assets, we drive down costs and reduce environmental impact. This is sustainability in action, meeting our needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs. It's about doing more with less and ensuring that our operations contribute positively to the world. Creating a culture of excellence through proactive management is the most transformative element of asset management. It's about instilling a mindset where every team member is not just a caretaker of the status quo, but is an active participant in the utility's growth and improvement. In this cultural, excellence is not a target to be reached, but a continuous journey of development and enhancement. Proactive management means anticipating challenges before they arise, seeking opportunities for improvement, and fostering an environment where innovation thrives. In essence, asset management is a linchpin that connects our daily operations to our strategic vision. It ensures that every decision, investment, and operational change we make is a step towards greater efficiency, sustainability, and service excellence. It's also a commitment to the health and well-being of our communities and protecting our natural resources. So let's truly embrace asset management, not just as a set of procedures, but as a fundamental approach to doing business, one that secures our utilities' position as a leader in the industry and a trusted guardian of one of life's most essential resources, our fresh water supply. Asset management is kind of a continuous improvement approach. So what role does continuous improvement play in asset management? Asset management's like this giant elephant. Where do you start? Well, you just pick somewhere and start. Emphasizing asset management is an ongoing journey, the importance of cross-departmental collaboration, and dedication to learning and adaptation in utility management. The role of continuous improvement in asset management just can't be overstated. It's an ongoing journey that calls for unwavering dedication, a culture of collaboration that breaks down silos, operations working with maintenance, and both of those working with laboratory, and all those working with the customer to produce good, drinkable, regulation-meeting water product. As a commitment to learning and adaptation that keeps us agile, continuous improvement is about evolving our practices, refining our strategies, and advancing our technologies to meet the ever-demanding needs of water utility management. It ensures we're always moving forward, enhancing the value of our assets, and securing the water for our future water service needs. Asset valuation and depreciation. So how do we accurately value and depreciate our assets? Understanding the process of asset valuation, the importance of systematic depreciation over an asset's life, and impact on financial planning and life cycle management. Asset valuation and depreciation are two fundamental aspects of asset management that directly influence the financial health and strategic planning of a water treatment facility. Let's look at each of these points to understand their role and impact. Firstly, asset valuation is a process that begins with identifying each asset within the facility, from pumps, pipes, to sophisticated treatment systems. Valuation involves assigning a monetary value to each of these assets, which can be based on the original cost, replacement cost, or even the value it brings to the facility in terms of operational capability. It's important to recognize that valuation is not a one-time activity. It must be revisited as market conditions and technologies evolve. A proper valuation gives us a clear picture of our facility's worth and helps us in making informed decisions about insurance, asset optimization, and future investments. Now, why is systematic depreciation important? Depreciation spreads the cost of an asset over its useful life, providing a more accurate picture of its value at any given point in time. It accounts for wear and tear, technological obsolescence, and other factors that diminish an asset's operational efficiency over time. By depreciating assets systematically, we can ensure that our financial statements reflect the true value of our assets, preventing overinvestment in aged infrastructure and guiding us when it's time to repair, replace, or upgrade. The impact on financial planning and lifecycle management can't be overstated. Accurate asset valuation and depreciation affect everything from day-to-day maintenance schedules to long-term capital expenditure planning. They help us anticipate when an asset will need significant maintenance or replacement, allowing us to budget accordingly and avoid unexpected financial strain. This foresight enables us to maintain a consistent level of service while planning for future expansion or enhancements in line with community growth and regulatory changes. In conclusion, the accurate valuation and depreciation of assets are not just accounting exercises, they're central to strategic management of water treatment facility. By understanding the true value and lifespan of our assets, we can make smarter decisions that ensure our facility remains modern, efficient, and capable of meeting the needs of the communities we serve. As we continue this discussion, remember that each asset is a cog in a larger machine of our operation, and how we value and manage these assets dictates the smooth running and future readiness of our facilities. Let's look at some financial parallels to asset depreciation. So how does financial asset depreciation compare to our practices? Drawing parallels to financial asset management, impact on utility budgeting and financial planning, the benefits of integrating financial principles into asset management, and synergy between financial and physical asset management. When we consider the practices of financial asset depreciation, we see a clear parallel with the management of physical assets in a water treatment facility. In the financial realm, assets, be they stocks, bonds, or real estate, are valued and then depreciated or amortized over time to reflect their changing worth and the return they may generate. This mirrors our practice of valuing physical assets like pipes, pumps, and filters, and then depreciates them to represent their use, wear, and eventual replacement. The impact of this approach on utility budgeting and financial planning is significant. Just as a financial analyst adjusts investment strategies based on asset performance and depreciation, we can adopt our budgeting to account for depreciating value of our assets and their maintenance needs. This ensures that we're not caught off guard by sudden capital requirements for asset replacement or significant overhauls. Moreover, it allows us to predict when we will need to invest in new technologies or infrastructure upgrades and align our expenses with our facility's strategic plan and anticipated growth. Integrating financial principles into our asset management practice brings several benefits. It encourages a disciplined approach to managing our physical assets, ensuring that we fully understand the financial implications of our operational decisions. And by adopting financial principles, we can communicate more effectively with stakeholders, including city managers, regulators, the public, and even internal employees, in a language that resonates with their understanding of financial health and investment. The synergy between financial and physical asset management is fundamental. It drives a more holistic view of the utilities operation, where every asset is not only a part of the physical process of treating water, but also a component in the facility's financial portfolio. This integrated perspective ensures that we are managing our physical assets with the same care and strategic foresight that a financial manager would apply to a portfolio of financial assets. In essence, by looking at our pumps, pipes, and treatment system as financial managers looking at their assets, we can optimize their use, plan for their eventual replacement, and ensure that every decision we make supports the long-term financial stability and operational efficiency of our water treatment facility. Let's carry this perspective forward as we consider how to manage our infrastructure investments for maximum performance and return. Let's look at investment portfolio management and operations and maintenance. Can we manage our infrastructure assets like an investment portfolio? Sure. Viewing infrastructure as a diversified portfolio of investments by balancing risk and return on investment and asset management decisions, applying strategic asset lifecycle management, and aligning asset investments with utility strategic objectives. Imagine for a moment our infrastructure assets are like an investment portfolio. Each pump, valve, and related system represents a distinct financial holding on its own risk and return profile. It's a similar concept familiar in the financial world, but equally applicable and transformative when managing a water utility's assets. How do we view our infrastructure as such a portfolio? What starts with understanding that, just like investments, our assets have varying degrees of importance, costs, risks, and potential for returns regarding efficiency and reliability. A critical pump might be like a blue chip stock, reliable and essential. In contrast, a filtration technology might resemble a high risk, high reward venture. Managing these assets requires a balance between risk and return. We must ask ourselves some questions. What is the potential return on investment for a new upgrade? What are the risks of failure? And how do we mitigate them? These questions are central to investment portfolio management, and they're just as critical when overseeing a fleet of operational assets. Strategic asset management life cycle involves a planning to replace and refurbish assets before they fail. It means investing in maintenance at the right time, like choosing the right moment to rebalance a financial portfolio. It's about making informed decisions that will extend the lifespan of the assets and maximize their value to the utility. Finally, aligning these asset investments with the utility's financial objectives ensures that every decision supports the organization's broader goals, whether it's achieving regulatory compliance, enhancing water quality, or expanding service to meet community growth. Each asset investment is made on its own individual merits and how it contributes to the utility's overall overarching mission. As we navigate the complexities of operation and management, let's adopt the mindset of an investment portfolio manager. With each asset playing a specific role in our portfolio, we must manage them proactively, strategically, and with an eye towards the future. By doing so, we can ensure our utility remains resilient, efficient, and ready to meet the challenges of tomorrow. Let's look at risk management and operations. How do we systematically manage operational risks? The necessity of risk assessment and asset management, implementing comprehensive risk management strategies, prioritizing assets based on risk, impact, and probability, continuous risk monitoring and management, and operations and management. In the operations of a treatment facility, risk management is not just a reactive measure, but a proactive and systematic process integral to our day-to-day functions. Let's talk about how to manage operational risks in a structured and methodical way. Why is risk assessment necessary in asset management? Well, it's to ensure reliability and safety. We need to understand the potential risks associated with each asset. This goes beyond the immediate mechanical risk to environment, financial, and even reputational risks. A comprehensive risk assessment allows us to quantify these risks regarding their potential impact and likelihood of occurrence. This is where tools like reliability-centered maintenance and failure modes effects analysis help us devise a maintenance strategy by looking at our assets' functions, the likelihood of failure, the occurrence interval, and detectability factors for each asset. This knowledge is pivotal in prioritizing our assets and resources. Once we've identified and assessed the risks, we move to the next step, implementing comprehensive risk management strategies. These strategies may include a variety of approaches such as predictive maintenance, redundancy in essential components of systems, or even insurance policies for non-managed risks. Each plan is designed to minimize the potential impact of risks and ensure that, should they occur, our operations can continue to minimize disruption. Prioritizing assets for risk management is an essential part of the process. Not all assets are created equal. Some are critical to the plant's operation and the water quality, while others have a lesser impact on overall system performance. We should focus our efforts on those assets where failure would have the most significant consequences, either because of high probability, high impact, or a combination of both. Lastly, risk management in operations and maintenance is not a one-time event, but a continuous cycle. It involves ongoing monitoring of risk factors, reassessing risks as conditions change, and updating mitigation strategies accordingly. It's a dynamic process that requires vigilance and adaptability in ever-changing operations environment. In essence, systematic risk management is about preventing failures and creating a resilient system that can withstand and quickly recover from disruptions. By embedding a culture of risk awareness and management into our operations, we ensure our facilities can provide a continuous supply of safe drinking water, which is, after all, the most critical mission. As we move forward, let's remember that the effective management of risk is the cornerstone of excellence in water treatment facility operations. Let's look at risk management and maintenance. Why is training and maintenance critical for managing risks? Let's look at the role of training for maintenance and risk management, and training for maintenance and reliability best practices to mitigate risks. So our own Ramesh Kalati has a book out called Maintenance and Reliability Best Practices. Now, I think it's 3rd edition and working on a 4th edition. And we also have that same book in an online learning format off of our website. So if you haven't seen that or don't know about it, you can go take that whole Maintenance and Reliability Best Practice. It's an interactive format. It covers everything that's in the book and more. And I think it's a great value for the price. And I think after taking it, you should be able to go take an exam like the CMRP with your day-to-day things you've learned in operating a plant and be able to ace that and earn your CMRP certification. Then we'll talk about enhancing the skill set of maintenance staff and building a culture of proactive risk management. As we pivot to focus on the maintenance aspect of risk management, let's consider the critical role of training plays. Effective training is the bedrock upon which a risk-aware maintenance culture is built. But why is this training so vital, and how can it transform our approach to risk management? Firstly, it's through training that our maintenance staff become well-versed in potential risks associated with each piece of equipment and the system as a whole. Remember, these guys aren't driving the bus. They're trying to keep the bus running down the road, and they should understand the risks of what they do. Comprehensive training programs empower staff with the knowledge to identify early warning signs of equipment failure, understand the consequences of those failures, and take steps to prevent them. This is not just about following procedures, it's about understanding the why behind each action. The adoption of reliability best practices is another area where training is indispensable. Best practices such as RCM or Total Productive Maintenance TPM are not just methodologies, they're philosophies that, when ingrained through training, can dramatically mitigate risks. These practices focus on prevention of failures before they occur and ensure that maintenance activities are tied directly to operational and reliability effectiveness. Enhancing the skill set of our maintenance staff through training. This means we're investing in the human element of our operations. Operators are often scheduled for training throughout the year, and that training goes towards hours that go to their recertification. And in a lot of utilities, that's been neglected for management, and that needs to change. We budget time and money to send operators to training. We also need to budget time and dollars for maintenance staff. Skilled staff can perform complex diagnostics, understand the intricacies of advanced treatment technologies, and implement maintenance strategies that keep risks at bay. They can also adapt new technologies and practice as they emerge, ensuring that our maintenance protocols evolve with the times. Lastly, training fosters a culture of proactive risk management. When our maintenance team is well trained, they're more likely to take initiative, propose improvements, and communicate effectively about risk. A well-trained team doesn't just follow directions, they lead the change in maintaining a safe and reliable water treatment facility. In summary, training in maintenance is not a discretionary expense. It's a crucial investment in our utility's future. It equips our team with the tools and knowledge to manage risks effectively, ensures our facility can continue to provide an essential service to the community without interruption. As we continue to explore risk management, let us commit to a robust training program that empowers our staff and enhances the reliability of our operations. Let's look at why KPIs are essential. Why are KPIs essential to water utility operations? We should identify key performance indicators, and we should benchmark against industry standards and our own past performance. So one thing in benchmarking for water utilities in particular is no utilities are the same. No utilities have the same source water. Utilities have different sort of operating constraints from their customers' standpoints. Some systems have very complex and challenging water treatment regimes they have to go through, and others simpler. So it's difficult to say in a 40 million gallon treatment plant that you can't compare yourself to really others. That benchmarking should be against yourself and against broader industry standards. And then utilizing those KPIs to drive operational improvements and in continuous performance assessment for quality assurance. So as we navigate the complexities for managing a water utility using KPIs, those become our compass. These metrics are not mere numbers, but quantifiable expression of our operational efficiency, reliability, and service quality. Let's look into why KPIs are indispensable. First, let's identify the right KPIs. We don't need to make everything a KPI. In water treatment plants, effective KPI examples could be total MGD produced per day, or the total kilowatt hours per million gallons a day, the PM-CM ratio of work orders in a given month, or frequency of unplanned maintenance activities, or parts stock out, or any number of things that are useful to manage in your given utility. KPIs need to be carefully selected to reflect the critical success factors for our operations, and they should align with our strategic objectives, providing a clear indication of our performance in areas that matter most. Benchmarking is our next focal point. It involves comparing our KPIs against industry standards or best practices, understand where we stand in a broader landscape of water utilities. But as I said earlier, keep in mind that water utilities are all sort of unique entities, and it's really difficult to compare to, even on the surface, similar utilities. So that's why I say benchmarking should be really against yourself and against broad industry best practices. Benchmarking continues, including comparing our current performance against our past performance. The historical comparison helps us track our progress and identify trends that inform our operational decisions. Utilizing KPIs to derive operational improvements is where the true value lies. Regularly reviewing our KPIs can identify areas where our operations could be more efficient and more effective. This leads to initiatives such as optimizing treatment processes, reducing energy usage, or improving maintenance strategies and scheduling, each aimed at moving the needle on our KPI in the right direction. Finally, continuous performance assessment is essential for quality assurance. In the water utility sectors, there's no room for complacency. Regularly assessing our performance against KPIs ensures that we maintain the highest water quality and service delivery standards. It also provides that we are always ready to respond to the ever-changing demands of regulatory requirements, environmental challenges, and community expectations. In essence, KPIs are more than just metrics. They are the tools that enable us to pursue excellence in every facet of our operations. By embracing KPIs, we foster a culture of continuous improvement, accountability, and relentless pursuit of performance excellence. As we proceed to the next part of our discussion, keep in mind that each KPI holds a story about our operations, and it's our responsibility to listen and act accordingly to ensure that our utility continues to thrive. Let's look at a parallel in performance benchmarking. So, how does financial benchmarking inform our operational objectives? Let's compare financial benchmarking to operational performance indicators. Learning from financial performance metrics for operational improvement, adapting return on investment and cost efficiency practices from finance operations, and translating financial insight into actionable operational strategies. In the financial world, benchmarking is a practice as regular as ticking the market's clock. Financial analysts pore over a myriad of performance metrics such as return on investment, profit margin, and earnings growth to gauge the health and trajectory of their portfolios. In the operational context in a water treatment plant, we can harness this financial discipline to sharpen our objectives and drive improvements. So how do we translate financial benchmarking in our realm? Well, it begins with understanding that at the core of both disciplines is the need for robust metrics that guide decision making. In our case, operational KPIs align with cost efficiency, energy savings, and maximization of asset life can be our equivalents to financial performance metrics. By comparing our operational metrics to establish financial benchmarks, we can uncover insights into how effectively we are utilizing our resources and where we can optimize our expenditures. Learning from financial performance metrics mean we don't just observe and record our operational performance. We then analyze it with an eye for investment and return. This mind shift set can lead to significant operational improvements. For instance, by treating energy consumption as a financial analyst Willis would treat expenditures, we scrutinize every kilowatt hour for its contribution to the bottom line and seek ways to reduce waste and improve our energy ROI. Adopting ROI and cost efficiency practices from finance to operations is about seeing the bigger picture. Just as a good financial investment is expected to yield profitable returns over time, every operational investment in maintenance technology or staff training should yield tangible benefits such as longer asset life, fewer disruptions, and reduced operational costs. This perspective encourages us to think long-term and make decisions that will pay individuals dividends in reliability and service quality. Finally, translating financial insight into actionable operations strategies means that we don't just borrow the language and tools from finance, we embed its wisdom into our daily operations. It could be as straightforward as implementing a cost-saving initiative that directly improves our financial KPIs, or as complex as redesigning our maintenance schedules to reflect asset depreciation and life cycle costing better. In conclusion, by embracing the principles of financial benchmarking, we don't merely aim to meet our operational objectives, we set a course to exceed them. We learn to manage our water utility the same acumen as a financial portfolio, ensuring the delivery of essential services in our facilities, economic and operational stability for years to come. Let's look at budgeting and forecasting in operations and maintenance. How does rigorous budgeting and forecasting underpin effective operations and maintenance? We'll look at their crucial role of accurate budgeting in asset management, forecasting for future asset maintenance and replacement, the relationship between budgeting, forecasting, and operational success, and adopting financial forecasting techniques to operational planning. Within the heartbeat of any successful operation and maintenance program lies a fundamental practice, rigorous budgeting and forecasting. Well, we can't do anything without money. It is as much about foresight and prediction as it's about numbers and spreadsheets. Let's break down why this practice is so vital to the effective management of water treatment facilities. Accurate budgeting and asset management is like plotting a course for a ship. Just as a captain must know the waters, currents, and weather patterns to navigate safely, we must understand the costs, life expectancy, and performance of our assets to steer our operations. A budget that accurately reflects the operational and maintenance costs ensures that we have the resources available when needed. It means no surprises that can disrupt service delivery or lead to emergency spending. Forecasting for future asset maintenance and replacement is the next step in the process. It's akin to looking telescope into the future of our operations. With a good forecast, we can predict when assets will need maintenance or replacement, plan for these events, and avoid the downtime and increased costs associated with reactive maintenance. It allows us to be proactive rather than reactive, saving time, money, and maintaining quality service. The relationship between budgeting and forecasting and operational success is undeniable. A well-planned budget informed by accurate forecasts ensures the funds are allocated where they will be most effective, whether that's in routine maintenance to extend the life of an asset or in capital investments for technology that will save costs in the long run. It's about making every dollar work as hard as it can to maintain and improve our operations. Lastly, we can adopt financial forecast techniques to our operational planning. Financial analysts use a range of forecasting methods to predict market trends and company performance. We can apply similar techniques to predict how our assets will perform and what resources we'll need in the future. This might involve statistical modeling, trend analysis, or scenario planning. And by applying these financial techniques, we can bring a level of sophistication to our operational planning that can significantly enhance our efficiency and effectiveness. In summary, rigorous budgeting and forecasting are not just accounting expenses. They're strategic tools that can make a difference between a water utility that merely functions to one that excels. They ensure our operations are fully funded and that we can plan for the future with confidence, and that we're always prepared for what lies ahead. As we continue to manage our assets and operations, let's remember that a budget is a statement of our priorities and forecasting is our map to the future. Okay, let's look at a finance parallel for budget management. What can we learn from financial budget management practices? Leveraging financial discipline for operational budget management, enhancing predictability and control over O&M expenses, aligning operational expenses with strategic financial planning, and incorporating financial acumen into O&M budget adjustments. Financial budget management is a meticulous world that offers profound lessons for water treatment plants operation and maintenance budgeting. In simple terms, a budget is more than just a ledger. It's a forecast for the fiscal year's story, encapsulating expectations, goals, and realities of business. Let's explore how this discipline can inform and improve our operational budget management. The first lesson from financial budgeting is the importance of discipline. Financial professionals approach budget management with meticulous attention to detail, scrutinizing and justifying every entry. When applied to the operational budgeting of our facilities, this level of discipline ensures that every expenditure is deliberate and every dollar is allocated with intention. As my asset management friend Reese Davies says, asset management is really a plan on how to spend every dollar all the way down to your very last one. This approach enhances predictability and controls our operation and maintenance expenses, ensuring that our resources are wisely spent and that we get the most out of our investments. Aligning operational expenses with strategic financial planning is another important lesson. Financial budgeting aligns with long-term strategic goals such as growth, consolidation, diversification. Similarly, our operational expenses must reflect both present needs and future aspirations. This may mean investing in more efficient technologies with higher upfront costs, but offering long-term savings, or allocating resources to training to build more skilled and effective and efficient workforce. The ability to adjust the budget when necessary is another key takeaway. Financial experts are adept in reading market signs and adopting their budgets accordingly. They employ a proactive approach to budget management, adjusting the new information to changing circumstances. We too must incorporate this financial acumen into our operations, recognizing that a budget is a living document. As conditions change, whether due to technological investments, regulatory shifts, or changes in water demand, our budgets must be flexible enough to accommodate these changes. And by embracing these practices of financial budget management, we infuse our operational budgets with a level of precision and foresight typically reserved for finance. It's about spending wisely, planning strategically, and being adaptable. This approach assures that our operations are financially sound and strategically positioned to meet the challenges and opportunities of our future. As we continue our discussions, let's keep in mind that budget management is an art that balances the meticulous with the adaptive and the strategic with the practical. Let's look at leadership, which is really the most crucial aspect of this whole presentation, and that's for asset management, leadership is absolutely essential. So what's the role of leadership in asset management? Well, it's setting the vision and strategy for long-term asset management. It is ensuring resource allocation and aligns with asset management goals. And it's most important of all this is fostering a culture of accountability and continuous improvement. So let's turn our focus to the helm of our asset management leadership. The role of leadership is indispensable and multifaceted. Steering the course for our water utilities asset management program towards success and sustainability. First and foremost, leadership is responsible for setting the vision and strategy for long-term asset management. There is no small task. It involves looking ahead beyond the day-to-day operations to anticipate future challenges and opportunities. Leadership must chart the course that balances immediate operational needs with long-term infrastructure resilience and sustainability. This vision must be clear, compelling, and importantly, communicated effectively throughout the organization, ensuring that every team member understands and is aligned with these long-term goals. And it's not just something that should be done and tossed over the fence. It should be actively engaged. Leadership should be actively engaged with this. Ensuring resource allocation aligns with asset management goals is the next critical function of leadership. It is about making sure that resources we have, be it financial, human, or technology, are directed towards the most critical assets and areas. Leaders must make tough decisions, often with finite resources, to support the ongoing maintenance and renewal of assets. This requires a deep understanding of the facility's operational needs and the foresight to invest in areas that will yield the greatest benefit over time. Perhaps one of the most vital roles of leadership in asset management is fostering a culture of accountability and continuous improvement. Leaders must not only hold themselves accountable, but also create an environment where accountability is valued at all levels. They must encourage a mindset of continuous improvement where feedback is sought, failures are seen as learning opportunities, and successes are celebrated and built upon. This culture is the foundation upon which resilient and efficient utility is built. In essence, leaders in asset management are the visionaries, the stewards, and the catalysts for change. They are tasked with the critical mission of ensuring that the utilities assets, so vital to the well-being of the community, are managed with the utmost care and foresight. Through their vision, strategy, and leadership, they ensure that the utility not only functions but thrives, providing an essential service today and well into the future. As we reflect on the role of leadership in asset management, let us acknowledge the profound impact that effective leadership has on the success of our asset management program, and through strong leadership, that a utility can navigate the complexity of today's challenges and emerge stronger, more resilient, and more capable of serving the community with every passing year. Let's look at independent initiatives, like things you can do without being totally directed to. So what can be achieved through independent initiatives in asset management? Things like empowering individual and team initiatives for continuous improvement, leveraging grassroots innovations and problem solving, enhancing operational efficiency through employee-driven projects, and building a culture of ownership and proactive asset stewardship. Asset management in water utilities is often focused on large-scale investments and top-down strategies. However, there's great potential in independent initiatives taken by individuals and teams at the grassroots level. Let's explore this by empowering our teams to take charge of continuous improvement initiatives is like planting seeds of innovation throughout your organization. When individuals feel empowered to identify issues, propose solutions, and lead projects, the result is a vibrant ecosystem of improvement that extends far beyond what any centralized program could achieve. It's about tapping into our workforce's collective intelligence and creativity, harnessing their unique insights and expertise to drive progress. Grassroots innovations is not just about problem solving, it's about reimagining how we manage our assets. It could be a maintenance technician devising a more efficient cleaning protocol, an engineer developing a low-cost sensor to monitor water quality, or an operator finding a novel way to reduce energy consumption. Although small in scale, these initiatives can significantly enhance operational efficiency and asset longevity. Employee-driven projects bring a sense of ownership and responsibility to asset management. When team members invest their time and efforts in improving a piece of equipment or process, they're more likely to take pride in the outcome and maintain a vested interest in its success. This enhances the specific area of focus and fosters a broader culture of excellence and accountability. Building a culture of proactive asset stewardship is the most profound impact on independent initiatives. It's about moving from a reactive, if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality to proactive, how can we make this better mindset? The cultural shift is pivotal for our utilities' long-term sustainability and resilience. It ensures we're not just maintaining our assets, but continually enhancing them, preparing for future challenges and exceeding the expectations of the community we serve. Independent initiatives in asset management are a powerful force for change. They democratize innovation, foster a sense of ownership among staff, and drive continuous improvement from the ground up. As we look to the future, let's embrace and encourage these initiatives. Recognize the path to excellence in asset management is paved with contributions of every team member. Okay, let's sum all this. How does embracing asset management redefine our approach to utility management? Asset management is a cornerstone of modern utility operations, bridging operational excellence with financial acumen, fostering a culture of continuous improvement and innovation. Asset management is a commitment to our communities and environment. As we reach the conclusion of our journey of this presentation on the intricacies of asset management, we stand at a vantage point where the path forward is clear and compelling. Asset management, with its principles deeply rooted in strategic planning, financial wisdom, and operational excellence, is not just a methodology, it's a very essence of modern utility management. At the heart of asset management lies an unbreakable bond between operational excellence and financial acumen. It's a synergy that transforms the way we view our assets from mere tools of the trade to valuable investments that demand careful stewardship. This perspective encourages us to not only maintain our infrastructure, but to optimize and enhance it, ensuring that every decision we make is informed, strategic, and aligned with our long-term objectives. But asset management is more than just a set of practices. It's a culture that champions continuous improvement, values innovation, and empowers every member of the organization to contribute to our collective success. It's a culture that doesn't shy away from challenges, but embraces them as opportunities to learn, grow, and excel. Moreover, asset management is a commitment to the communities we serve, ensuring that they have access to safe, reliable, and efficient water services. It's a commitment to our environment, recognizing that our assets are not just physical infrastructure, but integral components of the larger ecosystem. And it's a commitment to the future, ensuring that our utilities are resilient, adaptable, and prepared to meet the evolving needs of our world. In conclusion, embracing asset management is not merely adopting a new set of tools or techniques, it's refining our approach to utility management. It's about seeing the bigger picture where every asset, every decision, and every action contributes to a grand tapestry of services, sustainability, and stewardship. As we move forward, let's carry the principle of asset management as our guide, our philosophy, and our way of doing business, ensuring our utilities not only survive, but thrive in the ever-changing landscape of the 21st century. As we've reached the end of this, I hope you've enjoyed the presentation. And I want to thank you for the time you've taken today to sit down and listen to this, and apologize for it not being live. But you can submit questions to ask@reliabilityx.com, or you can email me directly at paulcrocker@reliabilityx.com. You can also look at our website, reliabilityx.com. There's a link to ISO 55000 2014, and also the U.S. Technical Committee for ISO 55000, the TC 251 committee page. And then if you look at our website, don't forget that we've got some training resources there. Ramesh Gulati's maintenance and reliability best practices. There's a link there where you can sign up for that and take that coursework. It's roughly 40 hours of interactive online training. And we also got one there for lubrication best practices. But stay tuned. Next week we'll have another webinar, and I look forward to another presentation continuing in asset management theme for water utilities next month. Hope you have a great day, and stick around for the next slide. So on this side we have a survey. This is valuable to me because it gives you a chance to rate or critique or compliment me on the presentation I just gave, and I really welcome your feedback. So if you take your phone, you can point it at the QR code, and it should give you a URL to our survey site. When you go to that site, it'll ask you for a webinar code, and this one identifies this particular presentation I've just given. Just put in 2024_10 and hit enter, and it will take you to the survey. Again, thank you, and I hope you have a great day.